Hello! Reviewing Chinese in-ear monitors and headphones are like that random taste sweet from Harry Potter novels. You are getting some IEMs and you never knew what sound you will get. But luckily this time I've got a pretty good sounding in-ear monitors with yet once again almost not pronounceable name. So it's TENHZ. I suppose it means 10 Hz. At least I will name them so because it's the combination that I can pronounce. It's TENHZ P4 Pro. As it can be easily understandable from the model's name, it's 4 balanced armature in-ear monitors. Their price is $150 if I remember right. Links on Amazon and AliExpress I will put in description. And this time they are really interesting and really worth your attention. So let's have a closer look now. Package this time is done in a pretty stylish way. There is IEMs themselves on the package. Actually, polygraphy isn't superb, but pretty nice. And on the back we can find the technical specifications. So 4 balanced armatures, 26 ohms of impedance. Pretty good, I like when IEMs are not super low impedance and super sensitive. Frequency response from 10 Hz to 40 kHz, of course it's some exaggeration. Sensitivity 110 decibels, less than 1 decibel. So left-right channel balance sensitivity, I think it's channel imbalance hidden behind this name. 10 milliwatts maximum power output, replaceable cable with MMCX connector, and so on and so forth. And actually pay attention at this frequency response. You know, this time maybe it's not 100% correct, but it's pretty realistic because their sound is definitely linear, and they have this drop after about 8 kHz. But anyway, about the sound a bit later. Box opens this way. As you can see, presentation is done nicely, everything is on their place. You will have big pouch for storage, so it's indeed big. It's bigger than necessary for these IEMs. So earphones themselves and the additional set of tips. So 3 pair of silicone tips because one is already attached to the earphones, and 3 pair of foams. I'm not a big fan of foams, but anyway, if someone likes them, there will be enough of different sizes. And actually cable. So as you can see, accessory set is pretty normal, not something super big, super lot of accessories, but anyway, it's more than enough for this price range. In terms of build quality, TENHZ P4 Pro are pretty common for modern Chinese market. They are made of semi-transparent acryl, and inside you can see the PCB of crossover. I'm not sure about crossover tuning, but I'm pretty sure it's a 3-way crossover. You can see all the drivers and so on. They are done in this typical ergonomic shape, designed to be worn over the ear and fitting in ears pretty nicely. So I think Chinese manufacturers have already found proper shape for that fit vast majority of ears. Faceplates are made of black glossy plastic with some complicated company logo. Well, not something super fancy, but at least it's looking okay. Spouts are average in length, so sound isolation is also average. There is protection from dust and particles falling inside. And inside we can see 3 different bores, so there are 3 different bores for all drivers. As usual, it's classical tuning with maximum attempts to make everything sound nicely. Cable is replaceable. Here used MMCX connectors. Actually, here is left one. MMCX connectors seems to be nice in terms of quality. They have well-defined clicks, they have good grip, but you don't have to pull it with super strong force to disconnect it. So cable itself is a bit harder than traditional cables, so it's not something super soft, but thanks to this formed ear hooks it stays secure on its place. But anyway, there is a slight microphonic, but it's not a big issue because there is this ear hook and you won't hear much noise. But anyway, cable is pretty sturdy and it's not soft, but luckily there are tons of different options you can choose from. I'd like to see softer cable, but anyway, sonically this cable is pretty good. So it's in nice coating. I suppose it will serve really long. It goes way down to this splitter. There is no chin slider present actually, but anyway, splitter is small and here it goes way down to the jack. Jack is straight, small, so it's pretty traditional. I suppose at least this cable will be reliable in terms of durability. So to summarize this part, nice build quality, traditional design and wearing comfort, a bit harder than I'd like cable, but I think overall build quality is pretty good for this price range and these IEMs will be really reliable. And of course about the sound. So first of all, let's get some dub as a source. This time it's Hibis R3, and now we can speak about the sound. So actually their sound is pretty predictable when it's based on that frequency response plot, and when we take into attention that they are pure balanced armatures. So they are really resolving with nice resolution, typical for balanced armature drivers, pretty emotional with good level of micro contrast, but actually they are well balanced and they are not going too dry, too monitoring and too analytical like it sometimes happened with balanced armature in-ear monitors. So lows here are, they are typical armature lows, so they are not as weighty as dynamic driver ones, but they have normal amount and they are just a bit drier and faster than dynamic driver lows. But anyway, there is a good resolution, really good texturing, pretty nice depths and pretty balanced amount of low frequencies, at least to my taste. Not too much, not too few, just enough to build a foundation, to give some warmth, to give body to the instrument. So perfect low frequencies for those who'd like to get the amount that is present on the recordings. If you are bass head or if you like accented bass, it's probably not a model for you. So as an illustration of low frequencies, I've got Danny Elfman's Serenada Schizophrenia and its first part, pianos. It's a good, a very interesting orchestra piece with a lot of big drums, with a lot of going low instruments. So and that's where this IEMs performs really good. It's when bass is realistic, not some synthesized deep pump, but some real instruments and so on. Mids are resolving, pretty emotional, surprisingly. Usually typical balanced armatures are what you give and is what you get. So they are not adding emotions, but those are adding a bit of emotion. So even poorly recorded tracks will sound still acceptable and pretty bearable. Imaginary soundstage is a bit above average both in width and in depth. It's more wider than deeper, with good instrument separation, with good layering. So they sound pretty. They build pretty good three-dimensional stage for this price range. As an illustration for mid frequencies, here is David Gilmour solo album. Track name you can see on the screen. So of course David Gilmour isn't most dramatic singer. Actually, he's good, but not the most dramatic. But with these IEMs, you can definitely get all the nuances in his vocals and in the instruments, because it's a pretty intensive melody in terms of instruments, in terms of melody and so on, and it's really enjoyable with these earphones. And treble, actually, it's also pretty balanced, you know, they sound pretty realistic for this price range with good resolutions. Decays are faster than they should be, there is almost no layering, and there is a drop after above 8 kHz, so they are lacking a bit of treble extension, but for this price range, you know, it's all... treble is more than okay. It's present, you will get vast majority of cymbals, of percussions and so on. You will get overtones and everything else, so it's pretty acceptable. And what is more important for many, they are not sound fatiguing and they are not sounding harsh, because there is almost no sibilance, especially on good recorded tracks. And as an example, here is Jesus Christ Superstar, Heaven on Their Mind. There is a lot of percussion here, and they sound pretty okay, because some inexpensive IEMs are getting overloaded with these percussions and sound like some high frequency noise and not all these percussion metal pieces. So I won't go deep into comparing those. Probably the only model that I can name, it's another model that I like. They have the same price. It's a Hi-Fi Boy OS V3. It's a hybrid model, so the main difference with those are in low frequencies. Hi-Fi Boys are a bit less resolving on lows, but they have a bit more weight in lows thanks to this dynamic driver. It pumps more air, so it's a pure physics, and you will get more weight but less resolution. Also, Hi-Fi Boy has a bit better treble extension, but they can sound sometimes harsh on poorly recorded tracks. There are a lot of models in this price range, but I don't see many reason in comparing, because, you know, if you want some good balanced armature model, it's definitely a model for you to consider when you want good resolution, more than typical dynamic driver models, when you want a bit more accent on the micro contrast. It is a model for you, so it's just another great finding from the Chinese market. Thank you for attention.